Chapter 3: Becoming a Connoisseur of Happiness. Imagine wine enthusiasts gathered around a 250 bottle of rare vintage doing the swirly thing with the glass, putting it to their nose, and smiling knowingly as they talk of legs, flavors, aftertaste, nose, and more. This wine is earthy yet fruity, buttery with a delightful velvet texture, hints of pear and cinnamon, and a finish that makes you want more. My own sensitivity to these qualities is significantly less developed, but I understand the wanting more part. Becoming a connoisseur of anything takes cultivation and practice, and this is true of happiness too. To develop happiness takes discernment and discipline, not to create happiness, but to notice and value it. Two fish in the ocean ask the kahuna tuna what life is about, and the venerable teacher replies, "Just beware of the water. Relax into the nature of water. Feel your happiness being in the water." As they swim off, one fish says to the other, "What water?" If we encountered true happiness on the street, we might not even recognize it. Even though we're immersed in it like a fish in water, it's not on our radar. And at the same time, we're trying so hard to be happy. Aristotle describes 4 levels of happiness. The first is deriving happiness from material objects. The person who dies with the most toys wins. The second is egoic gratification, being the coolest, smartest guy in the room. This happiness is competitive and drives us in sports, games, and war. The one with the baddest guns wins. But when you think of warmongers, do you see lasting joy in their eyes? If the happiness game could be won at this level, these guys should be rolling with laughter. Level 3 is the necessary step of being beautiful to others and your world. And level 4 is connoisseurship, happiness based on knowing your nature, discerning flavors, and feeling what you're made of. Step 1 in developing a nose and taste buds for profound happiness is to be amused, or disturbed, or exhausted by the sustained noise coming from between your ears. If the 6 o'clock news quality of your incessant self-talk doesn't grate on you, you might not need the happiness I'm talking about. Stay with the conventional get-happy methods. Buy stuff, own a lot of stuff, be smarter than everybody else, and pursue the millions of ways you can distract yourself from profound, open heart presence. If that works for you, go for it. But if it doesn't work for you, if you can't get enough satisfaction, read on. According to the tradition in which I trained, the happiness teachings have been protected and guarded for thousands of years. The Tibetan traditions describe these teachings as SPEC. Too simple, too powerful, too easy, and too close. Ordinary mind, ordinary magic. We may be imagining fireworks and climatic ecstasy, but this joy is the air we breathe and the nature of our beingness. One hint that you've smelled the scent of profound joy is a willingness to live with a raging, tender heart of appreciation. Are you ready to sign up? In the movie E.T., there's a sweet moment when E.T. is in Gertie's bike basket. He points to the sky and says, "E.T., phone home." When we finally connect with home, we realize that we are wisdom and compassion, both synonyms for happiness. It's not that we become something, we always were that something. If you're made of pure gold, even if the gold gets molded into a particular shape, stained, or trampled on, it's still pure gold. One teacher calls this essence love. The more we allow ourselves to taste this essence love, the happier we feel. The happiness teachings are regarded as among the highest because we're becoming joyful based only on beingness, nowness, and nothingness. It doesn't require particular conditions. It's always available. Nothingness is not available to the thinking, planning, scheming, anxious mind. The self that struggles for happiness and chases stuff is not thrilled to take a breather. Low-level happiness requires a me that grasps. I get happy because something happens or I get something I like. But we can be happy without a me getting anything. There is no cause for this happiness. So how will you know when you're happy if there's no self or other to judge whether it's happiness? Good question. The answer is by the experience of lightness, freedom, and joy. Less me equals more happiness. That is major league happiness. Here's a technique for cleansing the palate to make room for happiness. Drop your attention down from your head, where most of us spend virtually all day, every day, to your heart. Tell your head, "You're fired," and hire your heart as the place through which to experience life. Shifting from head to heart is one of the main takeaways of this book. At first, it's not easy. We're a neck-up culture, as if the function of the body is to carry the head around so it can chatter and carry on. We treat our bodies as though they're pets we take out for a walk. The dropping to the heart and inhabiting the body differently is a very intimate endeavor. Practice best alone at first. Feel this contrast. Bring forth your favorite complaint and ruminate on it for 30 seconds. Where's the action here? Likely it's in your head. What does your voice sound like to you from inside? Now, visualize yourself saying your last words to your dying mother, father, or best friend or a pet. Where is this taking place? Likely your heart. Again, hear your own voice when it is heart-centric. It's a prettier timbre. Now, try looking out at nature and bring your sense of seeing and feeling to your heart. It can be helpful to add the sensation of touch. Place your hand on your heart and drop onto the acceptance of reality from your heart. There might be some buzzy, radio wave-like static, perhaps a whirlwind in your head as you shift your attention to your heart. Your stomach might react too. It could be disorienting, like vertigo. When the breath goes to the belly, you might feel a little sad, as though you're about to tear up. And there might be a slight sensation like nausea. At this point, begin to inquire, do I like it when I see with my heart? Your joy feedback loop says, actually, yes, even though you're feeling a little queasy and exposed. The recognition that it's more fun to be awake and heart-centered is the vehicle you're riding on this journey. Look from your heart. This bit of happiness is enough to reinforce the natural energetic connection that exists between the eyes and the heart. Again, you have presence practice in this simple interruption mixed with the vast awakening of your heart. These teachings of a heart awakening are drawn from what's known as the Great Path, the path that uses the heart chakra to realize ubiquitous joy. It is also called the path of Bodhisattva, or the path of the courageous ones. The happiness I'm describing is not brought about by getting stuff or even the joy of accomplishment. It's not the pleasure you feel from a good bottle of wine or the high of a peak experience. Our brains recognize happiness and fun as good things, and the search for happiness is pre-programmed into our species. It's a matter of becoming a connoisseur, of learning to distinguish between fleeting happiness and sustained joy. The brain knows joy. Neuropharmacological researcher Candace Pert observes, we're hardwired to be in bliss. Our being itself is joyous, built from wisdom and compassion. And because of that foundation, we can experience both temporary pleasures and also sustained true happiness. Michael Crichton, the doctor and novelist who wrote Jurassic Park, said, in other centuries, humans wanted to be saved, or improved or freed or educated. But in our century, they want to be entertained. All spirituality is about freedom and having more fun. Healers, shamans, and spiritual teachers of every civilization hold the insights of how to know and how to see what has value. When a culture devolves into every man, woman for herself, himself, it succumbs to a lower brain function and likely leads to self-corrective extinction. The kinds of happiness that are reliant on things happening the way we want are called conditional. Conditional happiness is fleeting and takes constant maintenance and upgrading. As a connoisseur of happiness, your joy is based on nothing. Nothing creates it, nothing causes it, nothing erases it, and nothing affects it, because you and your inherent awareness are one and the same. You are happy because you are. You are happy because you're aware. There's nowhere you can go and become unaware. And this awareness is uncovered simply by being in your heart and staying present. Sounds easy? Try doing it for a day. The more you allow this awareness into your life, the more you will enjoy life.